Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So this is going to be our weekend read from April 11th through the 13th. Before we get started though, I just wanted to say thank you and give a shout out to each and every one of you guys for all the ways that you lift this channel up, lift each other up, and lift me up. And truly, you make the difference in this, and I feel so blessed for each and every one of you. So thank you guys. I love you back. So walking into this weekend, on the 11th, the moon is going to be in Libra, which is all about inner wisdom, finding that inner balance. But it happens to also be trine with Pluto, which is in the age of Aquarius. And so with this trine for Virgos, it can be a powerful catalyst that promotes and encourages growth and change, particularly when it comes to relationships and emotional expression. And so it awakens our deeper emotional connections and opens the door to an experience that lifts us to a natural transformation by letting go of rigid patterns and embracing open doors. This is the time to celebrate, to come together. You may even be finding that you're meeting new friendships, going out into new environments with socialization in your community that you haven't yet experienced. Through that as well, even looking at coming together in reunions, reconnecting. But this is a time really where it leads to, by embracing these open doors, it leads to greater self-expression, greater understanding of the self, but also too empowers us to be open and vulnerable in our communication. And through that vulnerability, through standing in that leadership of vulnerability, it leads to a resilience within us. And it also fosters an adaptability, and it fosters empowerment through that in painting our emotional landscape. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because this is the time where we are seeing things through the shadows. This is the weekend to face your fears and embrace the shadow quite truly, to see through illusion, to embrace dreams, but also too to see through deception by utilizing your intuition, by shining the light on the dark. And so this is a time where what was done in the dark comes to light quite truly. Now, it also opens the door and is at perfect timing when it gives us that deeper understanding of desires, of our emotional needs and wants, as well as promotes that resilience and adaptability, because on the 12th, Venus goes direct in Pisces and opens the door to the full pink flower moon in Libra. Now, I've done a separate read on the flower moon. It goes a lot into finances, so I'll stray away from what we talked about in that reading. Check it out if you haven't seen it yet. But either way, when Venus goes direct in Pisces on the 12th, for Virgos, it's all about relationships and partnerships. And when it comes to partnerships, it's not only your tribe, it's not only your significant other, but it's also the relationship in business, as well as partnerships and relationship with the self, how you talk to yourself, how you become more of an ally to your mind, body, and your soul, with continuing on with building the path that leads towards your greatest and highest calling. Now, it also focuses and brings a focus to your finances as well as practical matters. It's about really looking at your resources, protecting your energy and your resources, and it leads towards a path that leads you towards your desires. This is where your desires will come true. It leads a path of happiness, as well as a path that opens up towards manifesting your greatest desires. And so this is the time truly to trust your intuition, to practice self-care, and also to walk gently, as well as be open to change, as this transit will also bring unexpected opportunities. And so particularly when it comes to finances, be on the lookout on the 12th for new opportunities to renegotiate financial agreements, renegotiate partners, and then with self to renegotiate the balance between your idealism and vision with the practicalities of your everyday life. This is where with your Knight of Pentacles, you could be laboring towards your goals, staying committed towards your long-term goals, but also finding an additional perseverance that's needed to really carry you through to where your dreams come true. you. With the Ace of Wands as well, it kind of came out 50-50 here. But this is where Spirit is forewarning you, be prepared for delays, be prepared for setbacks. That's where the adaptability comes in. That's where the resilience comes in, especially when it comes to stagnation or feeling drained or uninspired. But on the other side of it, walk forward with this full moon to let go of rigid patterns, what no longer serves you, particularly when it comes to partnerships. So sacrificing your needs for the sake of others, making sure that there's healthy boundaries and reciprocity in that, for instance. But be open to start something new. There's opportunities that come in that will absolutely provoke change and inspiration, but it's good news that leads towards opening the door that allows you to really embrace and walk in your creative energy. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart, share your thoughts in the comments below, because during this time when Venus goes direct, it's a time to move forward and stay grounded in your values as you make the choices in your partnerships and finances that truly drive you forward and drive you forward into the pink full moon. So with the full moon in Libra here, it's called the pink flower moon because of the wild ground phlox in a forest that starts to emerge during this time. But it's also a time to align with our inner wisdom and harmony by staying authentic to our way forward while lifting others up on theirs. Now, during this time, I do want to forewarn you, because there's so much focus on partnerships, that we also have Mars in Cancer during this time. This is a time where emotions may feel very intense, particularly when they resonate around the areas and energies of security and belonging. This is where Spirit is encouraging you to get out of your shell, to embrace that spotlight, but more importantly, embrace the shoes of the Fool, wear the shoes of the Fool, to start something new. This is the time truly to face your fears, embrace the shadow, and walk forward with optimism and adventure. Now, you also have a bit of innocence involved with this. And so if one of the fears that you've been feeling is hopeless, if there's an innocence and wonder about you where you're encountering something that you just don't know, that you're naive to. Also, too, experiencing areas where it's like you're kind of backed into a corner, or feel like you're entrapped in a corner. This is to take a look at things with a sensible, nurturing lens. This is also a time to focus on your security, focus on your practicality and the practical steps needed to build wealth, whether it be health, whether it be financial, whether it be in partnerships, in collaborations and commitment. But most of all, it's the time to trust your intuition and let Spirit, let your ancestors guide you with their wisdom. And like I say, with Mars in Cancer, you will be tapped into your emotions. This is an important time to really create space for these feelings without judgment, because it allows you to experience them, to fully embrace them, and then also too to see them as they are, to embrace whatever's been suppressed with that moon energy, to shine the light on those fears, embrace that shadow, and more importantly, learn from the wisdom that that shadow has given you as a gift to walk towards your period of prosperity and to walk towards your freedom, not only financially, but also in emotions. Now, this is a time too where it's important to really acknowledge, I think with Virgos, we always try and be so practical. We're a sign of service, so we've got a lot of aspects of pleasing others. We avoid conflict or try and be that peacemaker. Now is the time to really acknowledge and to walk forward in the wisdom, really, where emotions aren't problems, with the perspective that emotions aren't problems to solve, but instead they're cairns, they're guideposts, they're signals along the way that really show us what needs attention and what needs care. And that's, again, it's where it's like if you've been dealing with possibly financial or spiritual hardships, fear of poverty, fear especially of going through hard times or weathering a storm. Can you make it through? Do you have that within you? This is where instead you're utilizing those emotions and looking at them, like I say, not as problems to solve, but instead as cairns, as directionals, as guides to show you what needs attention and what needs care. And this is where you're able to stand up and rise against your fears, face your fears with bravery and instead shine as the star that you truly are, as the star of hope, to embrace that hope, to embrace that renewal, to embrace that healing, and more importantly, to walk towards what's truly meant for you, to walk towards your justice. Now, part of the justice card as well is it's time for the truth to come forward. And with the sun in Aries, this too may intensify emotions, bringing frustration, bringing restlessness. And so it's time to really check in with yourself and create that space that's needed for inner peace. And so utilizing your meditations, really focusing on your alignment, your grounding, practicing your pranayama, because it's your body's natural heating and cooling system, right? Not only for the practical matter of it, of the heating and the cooling, of oxygenation, and that way too with the science behind how the body operates, but also for your emotions, to allow yourself that space to come back to a place of peace. Now, with the full moon as well, it tends to fall this time with Libra in our second house of finances. So it's all about values. It's all about looking at things as with the perspective and the lens of assets versus liabilities, but also to protecting your energy, especially when emotions are so high this weekend. This is the time to really look at protecting your energy and your resources, and instead allow that clarity to come through as a cosmic spring cleaning for your soul, rather. Excuse me, I don't know why I can't talk all of a sudden. But more importantly, to look at and stand in the energy of the King of Pentacles. That self-control, that need to be steady, to be grounded, but also to be dependable, to stand up for yourself. This is also, it's got a strong emphasis not only on financial management, material success, but on security. And with the Pentacles, this really has a lot of focus, or a lot of pointing towards your money, your finances, your material wealth, but also with career. This is where, are you motivated to really stand the test of time and where you're going? Does it still align with your long-term goals, with where you're headed in your day-to-day practices? And so with the Page of Pentacles in reverse, this could be where you're really looking at things with a new lens. And instead of looking at lack of opportunities, looking at things maybe with an immature lens, a naive lens, where you're handling financial matters irresponsibly, or you're being too slack about situations in that way as well. This is instead about looking at it with an emotional lens, not only with an innocence of the dreamer, but also with the creativity, with the intuition needed to really dream, and dream in a different way that allows you to really balance the inner self, embrace and honor the desires and those feelings, and walk forward with balance, with that Libran energy, shining light on the shadows with that Scorpionic energy, and lighting fire in your aspirations. And if that resonates, by all means, put a heart in the comments below, because what Spirit is saying is that with the Magician, everything is ready. The time is now, not only to face your fears, but to embrace your shadows and walk forward with clarity and with freedom. And it's about time, because on the 13th, as we exit out this full moon, we see things, we shed light. And keep in mind too, light shines brightest in the dark, right? That's what this moon energy is all about. That's what this full moon is all about, particularly when it comes to relationships and finances. And so renegotiating, identifying, seeing those signs through your emotions that need attention, that need care, to relax the worry, to ground yourself in a path forward. But on the 13th, we also move forward with the moon being in Scorpio. And so this is a time as well where it may amplify your emotional depth. It's really about intensifying that inspiration within you, and intensifying the need to release pent-up emotion, pent-up energy, and release pent-up old patterns that are really causing us stagnancy as opposed to helping us move forward. Now, with the Page of Pentacles coming out 50-50, this is where Spirit is really guiding us to say it's a time to really find balance in our ambition, as well as our fears of what other people say or think or see. This is a time where it's really needed to be balance between our defense, our naivety, as well as how we connect with our community, how we connect with our curiosity, how we explore. And instead, with the swords, it really points to how we deal with conflict, how we deal with our emotional turmoil, how we deal with situations when we encounter others in emotional turmoil, sadness, trouble, apathy. But it's about really watching your thoughts. And so with the moon in Scorpio, it's a perfect time really where it allows us to look at the most difficult of situations, the most difficult feelings, and embrace decisions that are hard to make. So if you've suppressed anything, if you found that past relationships have led you to a place where you're afraid to really walk into collaborative projects, this is where Spirit is really encouraging you. Now is the time to face those fears. This is the time to release those old patterns, release that emotional energy from the past, and instead walk forward with harmony. Find the relationships that really come together with common goals, common grounds, but also balance the dualities, balance the polarities, and allow you to make difficult situations not necessarily as head over heart, but it's with the head aligned with the heart. And so it's looking at things with discernment to resist restrictions, resist temptations, seeing the decoys for what they are, and instead stand up against those temptations, stand true to yourself against conflict, against issues, against problems, and really embrace that solar plexus energy and knowing that you are strong and that you are enough. None of these will keep you from standing your ground. None of these will keep you from facing your fears as long as you walk forward with a sense of clarity. That's what basically allows you to walk towards your freedom and move towards calmer waters. But it's really through that fusion of harmony. And so, like I say, this is a weekend where don't be surprised. It is all about emotions. It is all about transformation, but it's also about freeing yourself from patterns, from negativity, from places that don't allow you to be vulnerable, that don't allow you to be resilient, and instead stand in your truth, stand for your values, honor your values and desires, and stand your ground. I'm just saying. Now, if that resonates, by all means, share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, too, if you're struggling this weekend, check out the Honey Sea Star store. All of the designs are meant to uplift, empower, and inspire you along your way. And to also let you know that we here on this channel walk with you, support you, and are here to lift you up along your way, especially during difficult times. I'm just saying. Now, if you don't see your power word in there, share that in the comments below. Let's design it together and share it through the Honey Sea Star store to lift as many Virgos as we can up, because if it inspires you, it'll empower others as well. And so this is the time we're really sharing, collaboration, coming together to embrace our differences through common goals, embrace working together towards a common goal to help us rise up together is what's going to be the focus and most important. Now, I did also want to pull a few spirit animal totems. The biggest thing that Spirit is saying here with the ram is now is the time where perseverance is going to be key. This is where Spirit wants you to know you have many gifts. There is no problem that you can't withstand. The power of your mind, the power of your patience is going to lead you and enable you to reach that mountaintop. And good luck favors the brave. Good luck follows you. This is the time to really embrace the magic that you have within you and embrace your transformation. This is the time to let go of past and, more importantly, know, believe, walk in faith that you are not only brilliant, but you are blessed. And I'm just saying, this is the time, this is the weekend. It is the time to face your fears and embrace the shadow and walk towards your freedom with a sense of clarity. Sing your song, because your songs are meant to heal this world. Your inner navigation will always guide you, But this is the time to really make sure that your fears don't keep up with your dreams. Now is the time to know and to believe and keep the faith that nothing can stop you when you stand your stand your ground and align with your purpose and the power of your soul. I'm just saying, I absolutely have goosebumps right now. Now, before we go, I do just want to look at our major arcana because these are all the major changes, right? The major hurdles that we have this weekend. And we pulled quite a bit. And so like we came into this reading, this weekend holds the power to really be a powerful catalyst for growth and for change, but it's a time to rise up and face your fears and embrace that shadow. And so for music therapy, especially when you're holding your energy, when you're protecting your energy, cleansing it, realigning it, what we pulled here is the F sharp, the G sharp, the A, the B, and the E. And right away, I know these didn't come out in this order, but right away what I can see here is it's like there's temptations, there's shadows, embracing these shadows, shining light on those temptations, those vices, those restrictions, and more importantly, harmonizing it, coming into harmony to embrace change through flexibility, adaptability, and resilience leads you towards manifestation and leads you towards your justice. As a synopsis, I'm just saying I absolutely love it. This is where it's like you are meant to rise. But with color therapy as well, it's a wonderful way to really embrace those energies, particularly when we've got such an emotional landscape here this weekend. And so what we pulled here is a lot of purples. We've got magenta, we've got purple, and we've got indigo. And then we also have yellow and also that lime green of spring. And so try embracing those colors, particularly when you look at your meditations. What I see quite a bit in this is it's aligning really your throat chakra, finding voice to your most inner desires, right? And really voicing them, standing strong with them. But also too, you've got quite a bit of the crown here. This is all about knowing and connecting with the divine, allowing yourself to step in those fool's shoes and to take that leap, to face those fears, but also too, to align with the messages, to see the signs along the way, because you are truly not alone. You are being guided. And you're embracing that sacral chakra. That is about embracing your creativity, allowing yourself to learn from the past, carry that wisdom through with you, but also to birth new energy, renew energy into your life. And that's through facing your fears, embracing those shadows, and standing firm in what you create and what you're meant to create, because that truly, again, is your justice. I'm just saying. I truly love this reading, and I truly hope that it helped. And seriously, I truly am so blessed and love each and every one of you guys. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and I will see you in the next reading.